just spent a week with my old Aunt Brown. Came up to see the wondrous sights of famous London town. Just a week I had of it all round the place we'd roam. Wasn't I sorry on the day I had to go back home? Worried about with packing, I arrived late at the station. Dropped my hat box in the mud, the things fell all about. Got my ticket, said goodbye, right away the guard did cry. But I found the train was wrong and shouted out, oh, Mr. Porter, what shall I do? I want to go to Birmingham and they're taking me on to crew. Send me back to London as quickly as you can. Oh, Mr. Porter, what a silly girl I am. All together now. Oh, Mr. Porter, what shall I do? I want to go to Birmingham and they're taking me on to crew. Send me back to London as quickly as you can. Oh, Mr. Porter, what a silly girl I am. Lovely, now all of you. Oh, Mr. Porter, what shall I do? I want to go to Birmingham and they're taking me on to crew. Send me back to London as quickly as you can.
What an artist.
She's got a hit there, all right. Who wrote it?
George Lebrun. Can't you tell the touch?
Excuse me, sir. Did you say George Lebrun?
Yes. Why? You're a friend of his?
I'd like to be. I'm a great admirer of his music.
This is where you'll find it.
What a song, George.
You hear them singing?
It's the best thing.
There he is.
Hello, Ben. What do you think of it?
It's great, George. It's great.
Did you hear them shouting it? Doesn't that warm the cockles of your heart?
Oh, it's grand to hear them love it.
How do you get these ideas, George?
Often wonder myself. I suppose it's just genius, eh? Well, cheerio, boys. Come on.
Excuse me, sir. Are you George Lebrun?
Yeah?
My name's Bob Fielding. Meeting you, sir, is... well, it's a great honor.
Oh, I'm pleased to meet you. Well, cheerio, George. See you later. Bye. Cheerio. Cheerio. So long, Harry.
Will you let me buy you a drink, sir?
I've got too many orphans to take care of already. Here, you have one of mine.
Thanks.
From the north, aren't you? Manchester?
Yes. How did you know?
Ah, I got a wonderful eye. All the way from Manchester to set the Thames on fire. Yeah, there might be a song in that if I gave it a bit of thought.
I've come to London to be a song publisher. I've got an idea to sell popular music for 6pence a copy.
6pence?
Why not? Music for the masses?
It's a tough business, young man.
Well, I've got a little saved. I'm not afraid of work.
Any idea what you're taking on?
All I need is the luck. And that's why I'm asking you for a song.
Me?
A Lebrun song would give me a wonderful start.
I'll help you if I can.
Well, that's all I need. Where can I find you?
My place of business is Charing Cross Road. My office? Try the Excelsior any morning after 10 o'clock. There's Eugene Stratton going on, singing one of my numbers, Dandy-Coloured Coon. So long, and best of luck to you.
There goes a great songwriter.
No, Sam, I want to come in on the beat.
I give you the beat every time, but you never come in on it. What do you want me to do? Fire a gun?
Listen, Sam, are we or are we not trying to write a song?
My dear Nat, that was the original intention. But all I get from you is, I'll be your sweetheart, I'll be your sweetheart, I'll be your sweetheart. There is a limit to the number of times that I may be your sweetheart. What about the next line?
It'll come, I tell you, it'll come.
It's all Christmas, but I want to eat before then.
What's the matter, boys? Waiting for an inspiration?
Hello, George. Now, you're just the very man I want to see. What about lending us a couple of...
You haven't got an earthly. That's what I'm here for.
Well, you know how it is, George. We haven't sold anything to the firm lately.
You being so well in now with the firm, next time you talk to John Fryer, you might add on a couple of pounds for us.
This new song is a knockout. It's enormous, isn't it, Sam?
Enormous. If it were only enormous, I wouldn't be wasting my time with it.
There's John Fryer now.
Well, here I go. John, as the song's such a hit, I thought perhaps, well, you might let me have a little on account.
George, I'm afraid there won't be any more on account. Not of that song.
No more? But it's selling, isn't it?
Oh, it's selling all right, but we're not selling it. I got some bad news for you, old man. Come here. Look.
So, Mr. Porter, a tenner a copy.
Pirates have got it.
I'm sorry, George. Someone's printing them cheap in a back alley and swamping the market. And that means the end of it as far as we're concerned.
So, Mr. Porter, the latest song is in the night.
Don't they know it's my living? Doesn't anybody care?
Well, that's how it is, George.
I'd stop writing songs if I could.
But you can't, George. Any more than we can stop publishing them.
I suppose it's no use me waiting.
I'm sorry, old man. Maybe someday somebody will find a way of stopping the pirates.
Maybe.
Can I help you?
No, I shouldn't think so for a moment. I'm looking for Edie's Story. She asked me to meet her here.
Well, as a matter of fact, she's busy for a moment, if you don't mind waiting.
Waiting? But my dear man, Jim Knight never waits. My time's valuable.
I'm quite sure it is. But Miss Story's listening to some numbers in there.
In there? Oh, well, that's my cue. I always choose our numbers.
Oh. She sang a good many of our numbers, and I don't remember you having anything to do with it. I think you'd better sit down.
Mr. Day would like to see you, please, Mr. Fryer.
What if she's fair beyond all compare? And what if her eyes are blue? What is the use of loving a girl if the girl don't love you?
It's you, Edie. It might have been written for you.
Well, you know me, Frank. If I don't like it, Leslie Stewart himself couldn't sell it to me. Try to tone lower, Fred, would you?
Pardon me, sorry to break up the party, but Mr. David Day wants to see you, Miss Story.
Oh, well, tell him to wait a minute, will you? I'm in the middle of a number. The chorus again, Fred.
Take a rest, Fred. Mr. Day said right away, and when Dee Dee says right away, you know he's in a hurry.
Oh, all right. Back in a moment, boys.
Keep it warm, Fred. So, this way.
No, you're going the wrong way. Dee Dee's office is over there.
Ah, but Dee Dee wants to see you in here. There are too many interruptions in his office. That's right. Ah, this is much more private.
What is all this? Where's Dee Dee?
Now, Miss Story, I have a little confession to make. Dee Dee doesn't want to see you at all. I want to see you. You're going to listen to a little song of mine.
Well, of all...
Now, don't let your hair down. They say that when you lose your temper, you revert to Cockney. And this isn't a Cockney song. That's pretty.
Are you going to open that door?
With the greatest of pleasure. After 2 choruses.
Of course, you realize Mr. Day will give you the sack for this.
Oh, he can't. I don't work here. Terrible tone for a big firm like this. Now, to start with, you've absolutely no idea who I am.
I prefer to dislike you incognito.
The name is Jim Knight. Clever, conscientious, and if necessary, inspired.
Let's hope it won't be necessary.
I'm inspired now. Say you'll be mine, don't decline, my darling. I'm banking everything on you. What can you lose? Don't refuse, my darling. I'm banking everything on you. I used to be a poor one with nothing in the kitty, but if I can be your one, I get a job in the great big city. Can't live unless you say yes, my darling. I'm banking everything on you. Listen to the simplicity of this phrase. Terrific, isn't it? Sometimes I wonder how I do it. I used to be a poor one with nothing in the kitty, but if I can be your one, I'll get a job in the greater bigger city. Can't live unless you say yes, my darling. I'm banking everything on you. Well, what do you think?
I think you ought to change your bank.
There's a very catchy verse.
Mr. Knight, if you sing another note, I shall start screaming, and I warn you, if I do, I shall surprise everyone, including myself.
Oh. Oh, well, we don't want to ruin that pretty voice, do we? What would the public do then, poor things? But I'm warning you, this is the last day of this astounding offer.
Thank you.
A pleasure, I'm sure. Look, I don't think you quite understand. I'm not just another songwriter.
How right you are.
Oh, no, I'm much more than that.
May I pass?
I've got a scheme to revolutionize this whole industry. I'm going to sell music at 6 a copy and beat the damn pirates at their own game.
You must let me know which street corner.
Oh, I'm going to publish it myself.
Oh, you're a publisher, too.
My good woman, I'm giving you a chance to go down in history as the singer of the first sixpenny edition.
Now, look here, young
Oh,
man.
go away. It's rude to interrupt. Now, for the last time, Edie.
The name's Miss Story.
Hello, Edie.
Oh, hello, Sam.
We've got a great new song for you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's go in and hear it.
Later, boys, later. Miss Story is very busy just now.
Look, if you were twice as clever as you try to be, you still wouldn't be half as clever as you think you are.
Would you mind repeating it just a bit slower?
Oh!
Excuse me. Did I hear you say you were a publisher?
Not a publisher, my man. The publisher.
In that case, you'll be wanting some really good songs.
I'm afraid it's only given to a few of us to write the really good songs.
That's what I always say. Now, we have here a song which, in my own modest way, I would say was a smasher. Matt, 1, 2. I'll be your sweetheart if you will be mine. When I'm a man, my plan will be to marry you. Well?
Not bad. Not good, either. But it'll help make up my new list.
Does that mean a contract?
When I get my new office fixed up, you must call round sometime. Cabby, Jim Knight's the name.
Mr. Knight, I know you are a man of the world, but I can speak frankly with you. For the first time in our lives, we find ourselves broke again, and when a song is accepted, it is customary...
Yes, I know, to give a contract. I'll have it all ready for you at my office.
Yeah, but couldn't we come now?
Where is your office? I'll find the new address on the stage when I find an office. Au revoir. The Nesta Lounge.
Germany.
Say we sold that song?
Did we get any money for it?
No.
Well, then we haven't sold it.
Well, money isn't everything.
No, but it helps. Besides, why did you let him get away with the only copy of the song we had?
Oh, that's nothing. I can put it down again.
Well, that's very easy for you. You only write the words. I have to remember the dots.
Here are, gents, all the latest songs. 2 bob songs for the tenner. Oh, Mr. Porter, goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Porter.
2 bob songs for the
Poor old George. No wonder he didn't get any money.
I'd like to punch him right on the nose.
Oh, wait, just a minute. I have a certain amount of faith in human nature. Let's try kindness first. I'll tell him the facts.
Oh, Mr. Porter, Mary, Mary, all the ladies' songs, only a tenner. Yeah, Governor, your favourite song for a tenner.
And do you know why you can sell those for 6pence?
Why? Because there's expiry songs, that's why.
No, because they're stolen property.
Yeah, I never stole nothing in my life.
No one's accusing you. You just don't know. You see, these songs belong to the men who wrote them and the publishers who bought them. Every time the publisher sells a copy, the writer makes a little money. But if you sell them, they starve.
Ah, well, thanks for the tip. That's the last time I'll sell one of these.
I knew you'd understand. You see, Matt, human nature is always underrated. From now on, I'm going to speak in exactly the same way to all the hawkers, and that will finish the pirates.
Here, gents, all the ladies' songs, 2 bob songs for the tenner. Oh, Mr. Porter, goodbye, Dolly Gray. 2 bob songs for the
dirty
tenner.
little...
Oh, Mr. Porter, goodbye, Dolly Gray.
Hello, Ma. Ooh, what a lovely piece of fire. It's perishing outside.
Did you see anyone, George?
Yes, ran into the boys of F&D. What a bit of good news.
Did you see John Fryer?
Grand news. 2 new publishers are starting up, which means they'll need new songs. I tell you, Ma, we're going to be busy. On Monday, me and the boys are going down to the...
Did you get any money? That's all I want to know.
Blimey, can't you let a bloke get his foot inside the door? I was just going to tell you.
Don't tell me. I know. Why did I have to marry a songwriter? I could have married a man with a proper job, but no, I have to marry a songwriter.
I'm sorry, Liz. I'm doing my best. It's those damn pirates. They're killing us.
Well, it's a good job I didn't wait for you.
Whew. Where'd you get this?
I popped the barometer. Got 6 bob for it.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Go on, eat it up.
Do you want all the passage?
I beg your pardon.
Granted. I say, do you think that style will ever come back?
Half a pint, please.
Got any money?
A little.
Better look after it. Plenty of people here who haven't got any. Savvy?
Hi, Savvy. Has Mr. George LeBrun been in this morning?
Over in the corner.
Thanks. Have one on me. Good morning, Mr. LeBrun.
Hello. Boys, this is the gent I was telling you about, Mr.
Bob Fielding.
That's right. Meet a couple of pals of mine, Sam Kahn and Matt Kelly.
How do you do? Now, what about the song?
Well, I'm afraid I haven't anything for you yet.
Oh, you haven't?
The moose is coy. Usually is first thing in the morning. But I'll tell you what, Mr. Fielding. These 2 ain't much to look at, but sometimes they write a snorter, and they've written one now. The very thing to launch you off with.
Well, I'd like to hear it sometime, of
You
course.
shall hear it right now. I'll leave you 3 to get together. So long.
Well,
Mr. Fielding, I have here a song which, in my own modest way, I would say was a smasher.
May I look at it? I'll be your sweetheart. Nice title. Da, 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 da. I like it.
He says he likes it.
Da, 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 da. I'll publish it.
Says you publish it.
That's what I thought he said. Of course, everything depends on the price. I'm a great believer in competition. If you care to make a better offer than the oothers.
Well, how much am I up against?
Now, Sam.
And another thing, you being new in the business, you might not even handle it right. You might even kill the song. I don't know whether we should even let you have it.
Sam.
Well, how much?
With such an important property, not a penny under a fiver.
Make it 2 quid.
2 quid.
Done. That's one deal you haven't cleared.
Address on it? Now, if you'll assign the publishing rights to Bob Fielding.
All in order?
You know you got it at a disgraceful price. I don't want you to think that songwriting is in such a bad state that we have to argue about a couple of paltry sovereigns. And if it wasn't that my friend here needed the money so badly, I would have never sold you the song.
Well, thank you, boys. I hope this is the beginning of a very profitable association.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Fielding. Where's your office?
As soon as I'm fixed up, you'll hear from me.
Well, where are you stopping?
From now on, I'm stopping at nothing.
You know what worries me? Will we ever see this man or the song again?
What worries me is, will I ever see my half of the 2 quid again?
Come in.
Don't be scared. It's only me, Mr. Fielding.
Tread lightly, Mrs. Jones. You're in the presence of history.
You've got it. Your first song. Who's going to sing it?
Edie Story.
Edie's Story. Does she like it?
She hasn't heard it yet, but she will, because I'm going to roust her out at the Tivoli tonight. Now I've got to make a clean copy.
I saw you were out of manuscript.
If it wasn't for Mr. Jones, I'd marry you. How much do I owe you?
Oh, don't cost nothing. What's the good of being a cleaner in a music shop if you can't borrow a bit of manuscript now and then?
You mean to say you just took it?
Oh, Pace, he'll never miss it. Besides, you need it.
Don't you know it's very unlucky to rob a hymn shop? Or what's Ancient and Modern going to say? Or Moody and Sankey?
Oh, Pacey don't want it the amount of business he does. If you don't use it, the mice will.
You're a very wicked old lady, but I love you. You take the money round to Pacey first thing in the morning. When I open a shop of mine, you shall come and work for me. But I'm warning you, if I find one piece of manuscript missing, 14 days.
On a summer afternoon, where the honeysuckles bloom, when all nature seemed at rest, 'neath a little rustic bar, mid the perfume of the floor, a maiden sat with one she loved the best. As they sang the songs of love, from the arbor just above, came a bee which lit upon the vine. As it sipped the honeydew, they both vowed they would be true. Then he whispered to her words she thought divine. You are my honey, honeysuckle, I am the bee. I'd like to sip the honey sweet from those red lips you see. I love you dearly, dearly, and I want you to love me. You are my honey, honeysuckle, I am the bee. So beneath that sky so blue, these two lovers wandered through, with their hearts so filled with bliss. As they sat there side by side, he asked her to be his bride. She answered yes, and sealed it with a kiss. For her heart had yielded soon, 'neath the honeysuckle's bloom, and through life they wandered day by day. And he vowed just like the bee, I will build a home for thee. And the bee then seemed to answer them and say,
night for Miss Story, and he's in a hurry.
Perhaps you'd like me to walk onto the stage and drag her off. Anyway, this gentleman's in front of you.
Well, well, if it isn't the last of the dandies himself. You know, Fred Carno would give you a good price for that suit.
Look, I don't know who you are, and I don't care, but if you keep picking on me, I'll...
Whoa, steady, steady. What's this, fisticuffs? I'll lay 6 to 4 it's over a woman, and 5 to 2 she isn't worth it. Give him one of the pint.
Mr. Stratton, you're on. That's Miss Story finishing.
Is it?
Eugene Stratton, I didn't recognize you. But how are you after all this time?
Fancy having to follow that.
Oh, go on with Eugene. You could follow anybody.
Very good. I'd no idea you couldn't sing. Anyway, you did it nice and loud.
I'm sorry if I kept you awake.
If you had the right sort of songs, you might be the poor man's Jenny Lind.
It's only a shot in the dark, but these right sort of songs, would they be...
Mine?
The poor man's Leslie Stewart.
Now, if you work this bad, you'll be top of the bill in no time.
I hate to mention it, but I'm top of the bill already.
Of course, I didn't actually write the number myself.
That's the point in its favor. Send it in. It'll receive all the consideration yours wouldn't.
Oh, but wait a moment. I've got it here.
Well, that's a good place to keep it.
Go on, you will very soon. I'm John James Brown, the dandy color coon. John James Ebenezer.
How do you do?
John James Brown, don't you know me? Go on.
Yes? What do you want?
I've got a song for Miss Story.
Write your name and address on the back and leave it at the stage door.
But I'm sure if she'd see me just for a minute...
Now, look here. What sort of a hide have you got? Rhinoceros? I never want to see you or... Oh.
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
You haven't caused me any trouble. Yet.
I ought to have made the appointment, I know, but I've got a song here. I think you'd like it.
Well, come in, Mr.
Fielding, Bob Fielding.
Come in, Mr. Bob Fielding.
Miss Story said the gentleman.
Oh, thanks for the compliment. Oh, very nice.
Who asked you to come in?
But there can't be one law for the rich and one for the poor. Go ahead, sing to her. If it's any good, I might even publish it for you.
Is this it?
Yes.
Oh, I like the title. I'll be your sweetheart. Dee-da-da-da-da. If you will be mine. Did you write it?
No, I'm afraid not. Well, I hope to be a publisher.
A publisher? Well, it's becoming quite an epidemic.
I know it must seem funny, me a publisher.
No, really, I didn't mean that. Believe me, there are far more unlikely people than you wanting to be publishers.
I know I can pull it off if only you'll help me with this number.
Volume 1, Edition 1. I'd like to be on that. But first I'd like to hear it with a piano. I'll be round at your office in the morning.
Well, I haven't... That is, well, my office isn't quite ready yet.
Well, we only need a piano.
I know, but, well, it's only a temporary office, and it's not a very nice district.
Pacey's Music Shop, Berners Street. What's wrong with the district?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with Berners Street.
Well, then I'll be there at 12:30 sharp.
Well, if I were you, I wouldn't waste my time.
Oh, I suppose you don't like it. That's about the best recommendation it's had yet.
On the contrary, I think it's a wonderful song, an absolutely Edie story.
Do you feel all right?
I feel fine. But how about Mr. Fielding? How do you feel, you cheap chiseling pirate?
What?
Take a look at that.
I'll be your sweetheart.
That's my song. I own the rights. This yokel can't even wait for it to get into print. He parted for a manuscript.
Oh! Hey! Hey, boys, this isn't the ring at Blackfriars. Mrs. tea. You better get Joe.
It's all right. It won't happen again. I'm sorry.
You deliberately aimed him at me.
Now, look, what is all this about? Where did you get this song?
I bought it yesterday from 2 songwriters.
And how about you?
I bought it today from 2 songwriters.
Well, it looks as if for once the songwriters got the better of the publishers.
Even if he's telling the truth, I bought it first.
Well, how much did you pay for it?
I didn't actually pay anything out. That's still to be arranged.
You? $12.30 sharp, Mr. Fielding.
Thank you, Miss Dory. Looks as though Yokel Boy makes good.
My dear sir, I'm so sorry. Now, what can I show you? Some organ voluntaries, or perhaps the new Paisley hymnals. 1 or 2 presentation volumes in willow calf.
Well, I don't...
What did you want?
I came in to see if you had time.
The Times? No, I read the Morning Post.
No, I mean this time.
Oh, the time? Well, as near as I can make out, it's 26 3/4 minutes past 12.
Oh, thank you. Lunchtime.
Is it? I don't know. It may be, may not. Depends what time you eat.
I suppose it does. You go out to lunch yourself.
Well, of course I go out to lunch. This is a music shop, not an eating house. Now, what is all this? You really must excuse me. I'm very busy. I have some accounts to peruse. Oh, good morning. Impertinence. Time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Mrs. Jones? Come here, Mrs. Jones.
Oh, all right. Now what's wrong?
Mrs. Jones, I've asked you many times not to move my things. I have an orderly disposition, and I hate things moved. There were 6 packets of manuscript here yesterday. Now there are 5.
If you're suggesting... All right. I sold a packet. Here's the doings. It's the only thing we've sold this week. Gets a bit lonely here sometimes.
Well, I cannot compete with men like General Booth of the Salvation Army. He's actually printing his own hymns and using beastly music hall tunes.
Good for him, too.
Oh, but the pendulum will swing, Mrs. Jones. Mark my words, the pendulum will swing. Young man, would you kindly stand away from my door? There's plenty of pavement without using my piece. Young man, are you going to...
Yes, sir, I am. Right away. Would you give me Gerard 7? Yes, and please hurry.
Mrs. Jones, you've moved my rubber again. Please answer that.
Me touch one of those things? Not likely. My sister knew a man that got electrocuted in the ear.
Hello? Hello, are you there? This is the House of Pacey. The Chiswick Road Sunday Schools? Oh, good morning to you.
And good morning to you. Could you supply us with 2 dozen ancient and modern hymn books?
2 dozen? Dear me. Of course. I'll have them posted to you today.
I'm afraid that's not soon enough. We have 24 children standing here waiting to sing, and their hymn books have been stolen.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll bring them round myself. Yes, immediately. The Chiswick Road Sunday School. Yes, thank you very much. The pendulum is swinging, Mrs. Jones. The pendulum is swinging. There we are. 2 dozen ancient and modern. Now, where's my hat? Oh, Mrs. Jones, you've moved it again.
You've got it on.
Eh? Oh, Now, don't forget to enter each item and be careful to give the right change. Oh, dear, I won't have time for any lunch.
Good morning, Mum. Oh, good morning. Would you tell Mr. Fielding I'm here?
Mr. Fielding?
Yes, he's expecting me. Tell him Miss Story.
Do you by any chance mean Mr. Bob Fielding?
Yes, that's right.
Was he going to be here?
Why, yes, isn't he?
Of course he is.
Oh.
All right, Jonesy, you may go.
Yes, Mr. Sir.
Hello.
Hello. So this is your office.
Well, I share it.
It's a bit grim, isn't it?
Oh, it's only temporary.
I was singing your song all last night.
Were you? Oh, the song. Oh, of course, you want to hear it on the piano. Yes. I always demonstrate on an organ. It has more tone and body than a piano. Oh, I forgot to pull these out.
I think you have to pump it.
Oh, pump it, of course. I'm in a bit of a spin this morning. I'll be your sweetheart if you will be mine. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll begin again.
I think I can reach it better than you can. You play, I'll sing.
I'll be your sweetheart if you will be mine. All my life I'll be your Valentine. Bluebells I've gathered, take them and be true. When I'm a man, my plan will be to marry you. I'll be
Excuse me, I left my books behind.
if you will be mine.
What are you doing? Who are you? What are you playing?
Mr. Pacey, this is Miss Edie Story. Mr. Pacey.
How'd you do, Mr. Pacey?
How do you do? I mean, what are you doing with my organ?
I was just demonstrating a song.
I'll be your sweetheart. That's not in my catalogue. It's a bawdy ballad. This is sacrilege.
Aren't you being a little unreasonable?
I think perhaps you'd better step outside just for a
I
moment.
shall do nothing of the sort. Why shouldn't you use the office? You're sharing it.
Sharing it? Who's sharing it? This is my office.
I think I'd better explain.
Yes, I think you'd better too.
He's quite right. I'm not sharing it.
But you said that...
I'm afraid that was a white lie.
I must ask you both to leave my premises at once.
Miss Story, wait, please.
Not so fast, young man. How do I know you haven't filled your pockets with my hymn books?
You don't. And all your life you're going to live in glorious uncertainty. Miss Story! Please try and understand.
But I do understand. There's nothing to choose between you and Jim Knight.
But Miss Story, you can't know what you're singing this song means to me.
I never said I'd sing it.
Well, you must have liked it to come and hear it again today.
In somebody else's office?
Romano's.
Look, I'd know where to take you. I thought if I had an office, I'd impress you.
Instead, you made me look ridiculous.
You could never look ridiculous.
Ah, bonjour, Miss Story.
Good morning.
Look, I don't mind if you don't sing the song, Miss Story. I'm not asking you to do that. All I'm asking you to do is to forgive me.
Thank you.
Compliments of the season, Miss Story.
Same to you, Luigi.
Monsieur.
You see, I'm not going to be just another song publisher. My ideas go much beyond that. I want to print music for the man in the street at a price he can afford. Music for 6p a copy.
What do you suggest, Luigi?
Perhaps a little turkey romano cranberry sauce.
Sounds wonderful.
Think what 6p a copy will mean to him. To you, to me, to everyone in the business.
And what will Monsieur have?
Miss Story.
Somebody's talking to you.
Huh?
What will you have, Monsieur?
Have? Oh. Nothing, thank you. I'm not hungry.
But Monsieur must eat.
Well, a roll and butter, then.
Roll and butter.
I don't have to eat, do I?
Roll and butter.
I wouldn't have this happen to you for worlds. Please believe I'm sorry.
Need we prolong this?
Well, I've heard something about the vanity of stars, but I thought you were above it. If I'd been decently dressed and had a smart office, I'd have been all right. But because I'm not, because I have to borrow a place for an audition and something happens to go wrong, you walk out on me.
How dare you talk to me like this?
Don't think I'm going down on my hands and knees to you. I wanted you to sing the song, but there are plenty of others. It'll be a hit without your help. Thanks for nothing.
You!
If you ask me, Miss Story, a very barbarous person.
You shut up. Nobody's asking you.
I'm sorry.
Leave it alone.
meet some other lady, and I should never be your little wife. Don't shake your head, but take another kiss, and let me hear you whisper this. I'll be your sweetheart if you will be mine.
I'll be your sweetheart if you promise to be mine.
All my life, I'll be your Valentine.
I'll be your Valentine and love you all my life.
Bells I've gathered, keep them and be true.
I'll keep the bluebells and remember to be true.
When I'm a man, my plan will be to marry you.
I'll be your sweetheart if you will be mine.
All my life, I'll be your Valentine.
Bluebells I've gathered, keep them and be true.
You are the man. My plan will be to marry you.
I'll be your Valentine. La, 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 la.
Very nice, boys.
He's certainly a pick of the talent, our Mr. Fielding.
There's no one better. I picked the right person to sing the right song, didn't I?
A song which, in my own modest way, I would say...
Was a smasher.
Well, here's to Bob and Edie. May you sing many more of our songs, and may you publish them all.
Aye, let's have a do like this for everyone.
What about it, Liz? You always were fond of a polka.
Oh, and I'm not too old to kick it.
Now, Mr. LeBrun, I know I may not be your type, but may I have this next dance with you?
Sorry, my dance card's full.
But I insist on having this next dance with you.
What's the matter? You gone balmy or something? Oh. Charmed, I'm sure.
Well,
Well,
I think you ought to say something. After all, they went to a great deal of trouble to leave us alone.
anything I could say would be very badly expressed and quite inadequate. But it would just boil down to, thank you, Edie.
Thank you, Bob, for a good song.
Seems a long time since that evening I crashed into your dressing room.
In a Dan Leno suit.
Was it as bad as that?
Worse.
I must have looked like a three-ring circus.
Well, you certainly acted like one, knocking people across the room and breaking chairs.
Did he really break it?
The back fell off later when George Roby sat on it.
You know, you're two different people.
Like Jekyll and Hyde?
A very lovely Jekyll and Hyde. There's the famous, charming, brilliant star. That's the Edie story everyone loves.
That's Jekyll.
And then there's a soft, warm, very human little person who flies off into rages in case people start to realize she's got a heart as big as the ocean.
Bob.
That's the Edie story I love.
Oh, that vulgar tune. How can I concentrate on stock taking?
That's I'll Be Your Sweetheart. It's very popular.
I don't care what it is. Everywhere I go, I hear it. I seem to have heard it all my life. You would think me a nation degenerate with such barbaric trash. What did you say it was called?
I'll Be Your Sweetheart. Oh, why, there it is. Did you publish it?
I publish such rubbish? You will please apologize.
Well, it's got your stamp on the bottom of it.
Pacey, Burner Street. Well, this is too much. Too much, I say. Not only does he play it in my shop, but he writes it on my manuscript as well.
Oh.
I'll take action, that's what I'll do. I'll take action now. There must be some action I can take. The question is, what action?
500 more for Ackerman. Well, you've done all you set out to do and more.
We'll do better than this, Jonesy. It's just the start. With Edie on my side.
Oh, so it's Edie now, is it? I remember when it used to be Miss Story.
Open it, Jonesy.
Oh, so you're in the conspiracy too?
Now look here, if you've come to cause trouble...
Trouble? Am I to be hurt, insulted, wounded to the quick and not cause trouble? Don't interrupt. You've libeled me.
Libeled you?
You've written your jiggery-pokery over my beautiful manuscript. You've associated the name of Pacey with the pothouse chorus. Would you mind not interrupting? Now, what is all this?
More orders for the pothouse chorus. Another order from Paxton's. 10,000.
10,000?
Oh, we get dozens of orders like that from the big collecting houses.
Dozens of 10,000? Why, I've never had an order approaching it. Not even for my mixed voice arrangement of Onward Christian Soldiers.
Well, we're very busy, Mr. Pacey, as you can see. Perhaps we could meet some other time.
I've never
I
heard
have
of
to
such
dispatch all these orders today. Thank you, sir. Today, thank you very much.
In spite of the inexplicable reluctance of the public to buy my hymn books, I still have a little capital left.
What do you mean?
After all, I'll Be Your Sweetheart is a simple, harmless thing without a rude word in it.
What are you babbling about?
I want to help you. You can't cope with all this business in one room. Why don't you come into my shop?
But I thought you hated my kind of stuff.
Business is business. If people like to sing their sort of music, why should I moralize with them? We could form a partnership.
Burner Street is no good to me. It's Charing Cross Road or nothing.
Very well, I'll move. The house of Pacey can migrate.
Aren't you rather rushing things?
I'm a man of action. When I make up my mind, I make it up. With your flair for vulgarity and my business acumen, we shall go a long way together. Now, about these orders. Would you mind opening a window? The smell of printer's ink always affects my sinus. Ackerman, who's
One last word, gentlemen of the press. Our aim is to give the public honest melody at an honest price. Honestly paid for and honestly printed. We believe the public want these songs, but we believe something more than that. We believe these songs are part of the lifeblood of the people. We believe they'll be remembered and looked back upon and loved. Well, that's all, gentlemen. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Mr. Fielding. Good luck in your new venture.
And that they'll all be as lucky to you as I'll be your sweetheart.
Thank you.
Mr. Fielding.
Bob,
My name is Tapey O'Connor. I edit the Era. I wish you the very best of luck in your new enterprise.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Connor. Will you reserve the back page for Fielding's original sixpenny editions from Monday next?
I will indeed, but I haven't come just to catch an advertisement. I'm like you. I believe in these songs.
An honor to have you here, sir. I wish more members of Parliament had your insight.
Members of Parliament are the most uniformly gloomy and disillusioned body of men I ever met. I can always tell a member of Parliament by his complexion.
All except the Irish members, eh?
Even they look a bit green sometimes. Well, good luck to you.
Bob, I say, Bob.
Now, what are you pulling faces about?
Well, I was only trying to tell you.
Don't try and tell me in the middle of an important meeting.
But it's most unnerving, Bob.
What's unnerving?
Oh, look.
J. Knight & Co., the home of the sixpenny edition? But that's my idea. Why, the lowdown.
Now, don't be hasty, Bob. Count up to 10 first. Oh, dear.
Where's Mr. Knight's office?
In there, but I'm afraid...
You've nothing to be afraid of. I always thought you were pretty low, but... Ye gods.
Not bad, eh? I hear yours is quite a showpiece, too.
That's your trouble. You hear too much. I ought to pull your ears off.
Now, look, can't we ever meet without you wanting to pull something of mine off?
It was my idea to sell sixpenny editions, and if you think you can just walk in...
Now, wait a moment. I had that idea before I even heard of you.
That's a lie, and you know it.
It's not a lie, Bob. I happen to know that it's true.
Edie, what are you doing here?
Why shouldn't I be here?
So you knew about this. Well, why didn't you tell me?
Bob, don't be silly.
And here's me kidding myself you were helping me.
But I help anybody who tries something new.
Even if it's somebody else's idea?
Oh, Bob, listen. Jim didn't steal your idea. He told me about the sixpenny editions long before I ever met you. You just both happened to hit upon the same idea, that's all.
Afraid of a bit of honest competition?
I'm not afraid of anything honest or dishonest, and that covers even you.
Bob, aren't you being a little stupid?
Not anymore, Edie. I have been, but not anymore.
Come on, Jim, let's get that key set.
Oh, the ladies sung it. I'll be your sweetheart, tuppence a copy.
I'll be your sweetheart?
Yes, mate, tuppence a copy.
But it's sixpence a copy.
Ah, not these. These are only tuppence.
I didn't print this. Where did you get it?
What's it got to do with you? Do you want it or don't you want it? Oi, you, what about the tuppence?
Look at this. We didn't print it. It's being hawked for tuppence.
Where did you get it?
There's a man outside selling them.
Well, that, of course, explains it.
Explains what?
Our sales sheet. Last week, our figures dropped from 18,000 copies a week to 64 copies.
Pirated.
I'm afraid so. It's one better than you, Bob. Tuppence a copy.
Well, they can't do this. The song's my copyright.
My dear Bob, for all your flair, you're a little child. These people hide away. New Cut, Kennington, Kilburn, any old place. And they print and sell through these ragamuffins. Oh, it's a very profitable business.
Oh, is it? Well, I'll soon have the law on them. I'll injunct the printers.
Yes, well, who are they? No name, no address?
I'll find them.
Well, London's a big place, Bob.
In your business, what did you do in a case like this?
Well, I never had a case. Most extraordinary thing. Not even for my arrangement of all things bright and beautiful.
Well, there must be some protection against this sort of thing.
There's nothing anyone can do about it, Bob.
No. You watch me. I'll do something.
Yes, but
Bob Fielding, now you are the very man I wanted to see. I wondered perhaps if...
Are all the boys here?
Yes, but could you just...
Here's something to worry you.
A pirate.
John said they wouldn't be long.
Well, boys, it looks like we're licked.
Licked? Why the hell should we be licked? Aren't we going to do anything?
What can we do? The law's on their side.
They even have their own stalls in Berwick Market.
Mr. Fry, you're a publisher. What is the position?
Well, the hawkers are within their rights. The nigger in the woodpile's the printer, and you can never find him. They're organized, too, in a pretty big way. Organized and run by some clever crook.
Well, what are we going to do? Just sit around?
We do more than sit around. We starve.
All right, fellas, listen. We'll take the law into our own hands. We'll beat the guts out of every hawker we find selling pirated music. We'll smash their stores, we'll burn their copies. We'll make this town too hot to hold them. Who's with me?
Well, come on.
Come on, then we'll start with Berwick Market.
And furthermore, your worship, I submit that this ruffianism, which is greatly on the increase, is becoming a menace to the community. Soon, no one will be safe. It's high time the law made an example of these Charing Cross Road hooligans. These unfortunate hawkers were trying to earn an honest penny selling their song sheets in Berwick Market. They are men on the starvation line, struggling to keep themselves respectable and self-respecting.
And what about the songwriters? I suppose they're not on the starvation line, thanks to these pirates. Are we hooligans because we fight for justice? Are we hooligans because we try to impress on our lawmakers that the products of a man's mind are entitled to protection? Don't you understand, sir? These songs are our property, pirated by these people.
Order in court.
I expected that, Your Worship. This trumpery excuse of so-called pirated copies, it's always coming up. What is a pirated copy? There's no law which stops one of the poorer subjects of His Majesty from trying to sell music cheaper than the music syndicates.
Have you anything to say?
Yes, sir. I would like to say, after hearing all this, that I'm very sorry. Very sorry that counsel wasn't there so I could shove a dustbin on him.
Silence. This is a court of justice, not a theatre. £5 each or 1 month's hard labor.
Publisher fined £5 in market clash. Fine £5, they should have been sent to prison. Doesn't the law do anything to protect my property? Why do I pay taxes if my men can't go on the streets unmolested? I lost 3,000 copies on your stalls.
Perhaps it wasn't my fault. They'd torn out before I knew what was happening.
Who is this man Fielding?
He's the new publisher. Brought out I'll Be Your Sweetheart.
Yes, and he brought out a mean wallop, too. I'll be his sweetheart. From now on, no street trader carries more than 25 copies. And when those are sold, they can get more from the lockups. Ted, you and Jim come with me.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Fielding in?
Yes, sir.
Where's his office?
Upstairs, sir. Shall I?
No, don't trouble. He'll see me.
Who's the goldfish?
Smile at him. Mr. Bob Fielding?
Yes?
Nice place you've got here.
Thanks.
My name's Wallace. I thought I'd drop in and say how do you do. I'm in the publishing line, too.
Oh, are you? Well, sit down, Mr. Wallace. I'm pleased to meet you. Have a cigar.
Thanks. How do you find business?
Well, not so good. I'm having a bit of trouble with the pirates.
Oh, really?
I expect you get it, too.
No, I can't say I do. I'm doing very nicely. I've got a lot of big hits, you know, Soldiers of the Queen, Old Bull and Bush. I'll Be Your Sweetheart.
I'll Be Your Sweetheart, but that's one of mine.
Sure, it's one of yours, and a very good seller it is, too. I hope you get more like it. I can always do with them.
Wait a minute. Did you print that?
Yes, that's one of mine.
Take it easy and listen.
Any reason why you and I shouldn't talk as man to man?
Get rid of your 2 thugs and I'll be delighted.
Yeah, those fists of yours work overtime, don't they?
Well, let's have it.
Now, listen, Fielding, I've got nothing against you personally. You've got your job, I've got mine.
What is your job? Growing fat on stolen genius. Taking bread out of the mouths of families in Balham, Brixton, Kennington. Folks whose boots you're not fit to black.
It's all a matter of approach. It'd be just as true to say that I'm the poor man's benefactor. That I give him music at a price he can afford.
You're not thinking of the poor man, you swine. You're thinking of yourself.
Now, look. You lay off me and I'll lay off you. You stop inciting these brawls and I won't touch another of your songs.
I don't bargain with the devil.
And I'd put my affairs in order if I were you. Because I'm going to break you, Mr. Fielding. Good day.
Open this door, somebody. Pacey!
My dear Bob, don't be so impatient. Anyone would think the house was on fire. It's stuck.
It's locked, you idiot.
But unlock it, then I can come in.
The key's on your side.
Is it? Oh, so it is. Well, how did you lock it?
I didn't lock it. Where are those men?
They just drove off in a growler.
All right, Jonesy. Where the hell were you?
In my office.
Didn't you see them come up?
Yes, but...
Do you know who that was?
No.
The Pirate King.
Oh, my goodness, and I smiled at him.
Pacey, I've got an idea. I've had it at the back of my mind for quite a while. Next week is Whitsun. Everyone's on holiday. Seaside resorts crowded, teeming. Why don't we open a demonstration parlor in, say, Blackpool? No pirates up there.
It's certainly an idea, but...
We've got to break them before they break us.
Well, we'll have to be quick. We're 2,000 out of pocket already.
What?
Yes.
2,000? I'm sorry, Pacey. It was a good idea, but it just didn't work out. You'd better cut your losses.
Cut my losses? Well, that's the one way to make sure of a loss if you cut it. I've faith, Bob. Faith in you. I'll sell out my Edison Bell shares. The phonograph will never be more than a toy.
You've done enough already.
I've no son, no daughter, no one. You're my son, Bob. I'm very fond of you.
Thanks, Pop. Come in.
sorry to bother you, Bob, but we thought perhaps you could let us have a... No?
Not a chance, Sam.
Oh, but it's not for us, Bob. It's for poor George. He's ill.
What's wrong?
Something to do with his chest. He's bound to be broke. We thought if we'd anything to come from Sweetheart, we'd...
Can't make it more than a couple.
Bless you, Bob. If you would like our latest song for security...
I don't want your song, Sam.
But it's a good song. Feldmans and Chappers are fighting over it. What a song! In my own modest way, I would say it was a...
Masher.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Are you ready, Matt? On the beat. 1, 2. Mariana, Mariana, she is the only girl for me.
Look, boys, you're wasting your time.
You don't like the song?
It's grand, Sam, but I can't use it. Business is pretty bad.
Bad? What nonsense you talk. Bob has a great announcement to make. Oh, go on, tell them.
You mean...
Yes, your idea, you know.
Shall we really do it, Bob?
Yes, of course.
Boys, we're going to open a place in Blackpool. We're not beaten yet.
Blackpool, gee whiz.
Come along, here it is. Jim Knight's latest success. Walk along there, please. Take your coffee. Jim Knight's latest success. Here it is. Jim Knight's magnificent demonstration. All the
Mariana, Mariana, she is the only gal for me. Mariana, Mariana, just think how happy we could be. I know 20 gals or more, but I've not proposed before, so I hope her ma and pa will both agree. Don't want to marry Maggie or Carrie, it's just Mariana for me. Mariana, Mariana.
Mariana? Well, that's the song
we tried to sell you. We offered it to you first, but you didn't seem to want it.
My Mariana, just think how happy we could be.
My dear Bob, I can't tell you how sorry I am. If we had thought you wanted the song, we would have never let him have it. He's all right, but it's you we wanted as our publisher in the first place.
Maggie or Carrie, it's just Mariana for me.
Well, if it isn't the great Edie Story herself, the only Blackpool attraction that rivals Jim Knight. All right now, everybody sing.
Now listen to me, Sam. You're going to answer a few questions.
But, Bob, I've explained to you about the song.
I'm not worried about the song. What I want to know is how does Jim Knight's outfit come to be up here before us?
Well, how should I know?
Did you go and open your big mouth?
Now, Bob, as if I might have said something unconsciously.
Unconsciously's right.
Bob, what are you doing here?
That's just what I'm beginning to wonder.
Has something happened?
Yes, he's ruined my blazer.
Bob? Bob, what's the matter?
I suppose you're in on the great scoop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perhaps I can explain.
Oh, shut up.
Can be the most truculent person.
Perhaps if I might explain.
Oh, shut up.
All right. I can take a hint. I can see you two want me to be alone.
Look, Edie, I'm sorry if I was rude, but we banked everything on Blackpool. Pacey sold out his last bit of stock. It's a big thing for us. It's the difference between carrying on and putting the shutters up.
You know, it's very funny how you and Jim seem to get the same ideas.
He never got this idea. Sam gave it to him. This time it's a deliberate pinch.
Bob, I'm with the show at the Winter Gardens. Jim just came along and asked me to sing the number. I said yes. Do you believe me?
Of course I believe you. Edie,
Yes.
come on.
Where are we going?
We're going back to the Winter Garden. I'm going to open a stall right next to Mr. Knight.
Oh, Bob, can you stand another shop? Jim's got the last stall at the Winter Garden.
Oh. Well, that's that. Good job I bought a return ticket.
But, Bob, what are you going to do?
Catch the next train back, I suppose.
But why? You can't get this far and then throw everything up without a fight.
You fight so far, Edie, and then one day you find fate's winning on points.
You mean you give in?
It's not a question of giving in. We haven't any more money. We're broke. You can't do anything without money.
Do you want me to name a few great people who have?
Oh, they all had something to sell.
So have you.
Just a few ideals that nobody's particularly interested in.
Bob, have you ever been up on Blackpool Tower and looked down at the million lights twinkling beneath you? Gives you a wonderful thrill. Makes you feel the world's at your feet. It gives you a feeling of power.
You could sell the idea to the corporation.
Can I sell it to you first?
You could try.
Come on, then. Well, there it is.
There's certainly a lot of lights.
They're more than just lights, Bob. There are people behind them. In every shop, in every window. People fighting to keep those lights burning. And where you see a dark space, it means they've given up. Been beaten.
It's one way of looking at it.
Oh, it's the only way, Bob. There's a lot of sorrow down there, but there's a lot of happiness, too. Those people fighting like grim death to hang on to their lives, their loves, their ideals. Oh, they're just ordinary people, Bob, but they're not going to let go.
You know something, Edie? I don't think I'm going to let go.
I didn't think you would, Bob. You've got something worth fighting for.
I know. Shall I tell you something else?
What?
You remind me of someone I've always wanted to kiss.
Well, whoever she was, she doesn't know what she's missed.
That'll be another time like this, and me with as much nerve as this. Edie.
Yes.
Are you doing anything on Saturday night? 50 years from now?
Oh, probably playing character parts.
Would you like to help me celebrate my golden wedding?
Oh, won't your wife mind?
She'd better not.
Sensational success. What a masterpiece. What a classic. And only a tenner a copy. So roll up, ladies and gents, sixpence a copy. Mary Anna, Edie Story's latest success. Published by Knights, the firm that reigns supreme.
You are about to hear for the first time the greatest song of the day. I wouldn't leave my little wooden hut for you. Come on, Sam, give the lads a treat.
All right, boys, are you ready? 1, 2. No, boys, you can't get us out. Now, come on, try it again. 1, 2.
They can't get away with this. Come on, Charlie, bang out Mariana. Now then, everybody, let yourselves go. Mariana, Mariana, she is the only girl for me. Mariana, Mariana, just think how happy we can be. I know 20 girls or more, but I'm not proposed before, so I hope Amar and La will both agree. 'Cause I don't need my little wooden hut for
I've got one lover and I don't
want more, but I'm not proposed before.
What might happen, there is no knowing if he comes round, so you better be going, 'cause I wouldn't leave my little hut for you.
Now everybody sing! Mariana, Mariana, she is the only girl for me.
What might happen, there is no knowing. If he comes around, you better be going, 'cause I wouldn't leave my little wooden hut for you. Once on a cannibal island dwelt a dark-eyed maid, lived all alone in her little log hut in the palm tree shade, and on the island she reigned as queen. One day a stranger appeared on the scene. Said he, don't waste your time out in this awful climb, but come with me, my pretty southern maid, to my home across the sea. But he went very red when she turned up her nose and said, I would leave my little wooden hut for you. I've got one lover and I don't want to. What might happen, there is no knowing. If he comes around, you better be going, 'cause I wouldn't leave my little wooden hut for
He's all right, Dux. He's been asleep. Good. The gas went out. I put another penny in the meter.
Thanks. I'll give it to you later.
Are they coming, huh?
They're coming, George. You just lie still.
You've had a lot to put up with, Liz.
I wouldn't have had it any other way, George.
You ought to have had more out of life, Mrs. George Lebrun. With a name like that, you ought to have had a chateau in a park.
Oh, go on with you.
Or shall we say a cottage in a garden? Cottage in a garden. There ought to be a song out of it. Cottage in a garden.
It's the boys, George.
Hello, boys. I bet you had to borrow the dough to get here.
You old rascal, you would bring us out on a night like this.
Liz, I want a word with the boys alone.
All right, dear. Don't excite him.
Well, this is a fine thing to do on us. Anybody think you were ill?
Thanks for coming, Sam. It's Liz I'm worrying about.
You don't have to worry about anything, George.
Look after her, boys.
Of course we will, George. And anyway, you're going to get better and look after her yourself.
I've nothing to leave her. You know that. But there's a manuscript, Sam. Over there, in that desk.
Is this it, George? Liza Johnson?
Yes, that's it. Liza Johnson. I wrote it for Liz. Take it to Edie. Ask her to sing it.
I'll take it to her, George. I know she'll sing it for you.
Thanks. If it makes any money, give it to Ma.
What shall I do? I want to go to the... Should have made a fortune. Never mind. The kiddies loved it. Guess it's going. Again. Put a penny in, boys.
The gas is all right, George.
It isn't all right. It's almost out. Don't tell me you haven't a penny between you.
Well, all I can say is for someone who knows all about toboggans, you're a pretty good singer.
Well, it was your fault. You leaned over the wrong side.
Well, you said lean left. Now, when I was at school, this was my left. Of course, it may have been changed since then.
All right, all right. It was the toboggan's fault then. It suddenly seemed to get out of control.
That's exactly what I'm about to do.
Bob Fielding, I refuse to be kissed by a man who doesn't know his left hand from his right.
What about a man who wants to marry you?
Bob.
Now, don't say this is so sudden. All the novelette heroines say that. Anyway, it isn't sudden. You've known how I felt for a long time.
But, Bob,
Oh, yes, you have. You knew that night on Blackpool Tower, and you wouldn't help me one little bit.
I didn't want you to say it then.
Why not?
You were so unsettled. It was all you could do to run your own life, let alone two lives.
I'm all right now, Edie.
I wonder. You know, castles in the air are all very well until you start to move into them.
Is it Jim?
Jim? Oh, no, of course it isn't Jim. Oh, I like him a lot, but no, it's just...
Just what?
Bob, you're fighting for a pretty big cause. A cause that ought to come first in your life.
I could never come before you, Edie.
But it's got to come before me.
Do you believe the two people should throw away their happiness? Just like that?
You've got to be sure you found happiness. Now, Bob, don't let's rush into something we may regret. Let's leave it for a week.
A week?
Let's not see each other for a week, and next Saturday, if we still feel the same, we'll meet at Romano's after the show. Am I being a novelette heroine?
You are. And it's a week wasted, but I'll be there.
5 o'clock? I must fly. I'm on in a minute, and I've got to have my hair done and everything.
Edie,
Yes?
whatever happens, are you with me in this fight?
Oh, you know I am, Bob, all the way.
Oh, that's fine. Then there's something you can do for me. It'll carry a lot of weight coming from you. After your number, will you appeal from the stage tonight?
Oh, what do you mean, Bob?
Well, will you ask everyone to back us in our fight against the pirates?
No, I couldn't do that.
Why not?
Well, I'm an artist, Bob. I mustn't get mixed up in things like that. It's like politics. We're supposed to keep outside all that.
This isn't politics, it's common justice.
Oh, Bob, can't you understand? I couldn't. I'm a singer. That's all the public wants me to be. I can't take sides, not openly. If I did, I'd lose my public.
Is that all you care about, keeping your public?
Bob!
Oh, I'm doing fine. Hooray for me. To hell with the songwriters that put me where I am at the top of the bill. Is that your creed? Down with poor humanity, up with Edie's story?
Phew! Oh,
Hello, Edie.
I'm sorry, Sam. I can't see anyone tonight.
But Edie, I just wanted
If I
to...
say I can't see anyone, I can't see anyone.
I think I'd see him just for a moment.
Oh, you think?
Miss Edie, George LeBrun is dead.
When did it happen?
Last night.
Does Bob know?
We haven't told anyone yet. You see, we've been helping Liz a bit. Kelly's with her now.
I'm sorry, Sam. Is there anything I can do?
Edie, I know we're always asking you favors, but this is a special favor. Look, there's George's last royalty account. £1 7 to come. This is his last song he wrote. He said, would we ask you to sing it? It might make a bit for Liz.
Liza Johnson. Yes, of course I'll sing it. Can you make another copy of this now?
Well, I can write out the melody.
I have the manuscript here in the drawer. Do it as quickly as you can, Sam, and bring it to me in the wings. I'd like to say a word, if I may. You all know the name of George LeBrun. He wrote Oh, Mr. Porter, Dandy-Colored Coon. He was the greatest popular songwriter of our day. I say was because last night George LeBrun died. You'll probably wonder why I'm telling you this. Well, incredible as it may seem, the total amount of song royalties due to George Lebrun at his death are £1 and 7p. £1 and 7p is all George Lebrun is able to leave his widow. Why? Because his music was pirated, that's why.
Come on, Edie, we want another song.
Yes, come on, Edie, girl, sing.
I'm going to sing to you, boys and girls, but before I do, I want you to promise me you'll never buy another sheet of stolen music.
Oh, cut out the sermon, Edie, and give us a song.
I want you to promise me that you'll never agree to a state of things where a songwriter's widow has got to starve, as George Lebrun's widow will starve.
Sing, Edie, don't talk.
Yes, come on, Edie girl. Come on.
I'll give you your encore. I haven't rehearsed it, but I'd like to sing it as a tribute to a great songwriter. It's his last song. He sent it to me from his deathbed. Try it in B flat, Bert. If it's not all right, it's my fault.
Since my bloke went to a panhandle, all the pretty girls to see, he's got mashed upon a Yankee and her ragtime melody. Now he's trying to compose one on a Jew's harp for to play. He fairly drives me crazy, for he's singing all of the day. Liza, you are my downer, you are my little peach. Meet me round at the fish shop, and I will buy you a penny of each love, love ya. No bloke dare come and kiss ya. Oh, for him I shall go. If I should lose my temper, then it's what oh, Liza Johnson, yes, what oh.
Mr. Speaker, of all honourable members of this House, I am probably the one most qualified to speak of the subject of copyright. The situation as it obtains in this country the present day is nothing short of disgraceful. This bill makes it a criminal offence to sell copyright music. There's nothing revolutionary in the proposal. It merely emphasises the fact that it is a criminal offence to receive stolen goods and to sell them, knowing them to have been stolen.
My opposition to this bill is based not on any disparagement of music, but on a desire to safeguard the liberties of the people.
This bill is directed against the poorest of the poor. Men who sometimes cannot even read the name of the song they're trying to sell.
Men whose only interest, whose only anxiety is to earn something to support their wives and children.
Will the honourable member think a while? It has been known for composers to have a wife and children.
Does the honourable member for Scotland Division of Liverpool seriously ask the House to copyright this? Boiled beef and carrots? Boiled beef and carrots. That's the stuff for your Derby Kell.
And to what ridiculous level will this bill reduce us? Why, Mr. Attorney might buy a copy of a song like this, and a constable seeing the music sticking out of his pocket might arrest him on suspicion. The plain truth is that this gutter music has reached its own just level when it is sold in the gutter.
Mr. Speaker, this House is the champion of justice and liberty.
Call it gutter music if you choose. I say the time may come when countries will rise and fall by such gutter music. Music men may march to. Music that may make or break an empire. Gutter music.
Morning, Pop.
Bob!
How long will it take you to round up the boys, Sam?
The boys?
Now, where the dickens have you been all night?
Hackney.
Hackney?
Going home last night, I saw our elusive pirate king coming out of the Empire.
Wallace?
Yes, the great Wallace himself. I followed him to Hackney. I know where the nest is, and now we're going to smoke them out. Look, here's the main Hackney Road. Here are the railway arches. Next to the third railway arch is a large warehouse. That's Wallace's place. I shinned up a drain pipe and took a look inside. We've got them. It's headquarters, all right. Printing presses, pirate copies by the thousand, and my own particular interest, Wallace.
Bob, this is wonderful. It's the best news since the relief of Mafeking. Come on, everybody, let's clean them up. Are there many of them?
Enough for the boys to share out amongst them.
It certainly is a great day.
What with Edie Story's appeal and Leslie Stewart's letter to the Times?
What did you say?
Haven't you heard Leslie Stewart has written a letter to the Times about the pirates?
Even Susan's taken up the fight.
Yes, what did you say about Edie?
As if he didn't know. Look, Edie Story in Alhambra sensation.
Star challenges music pirates from the stage. She did it.
Yes, she did it, Bob.
Do you know what this means, Pop?
Means the end of the pirates.
It means more than that. It means I'm going to be married.
Married?
Yes, we're going to have a new partner around here, Pop. Mrs. E.D. Fielding.
Hey, when did all this happen?
It didn't. It's going to happen on Saturday night at Romano's. Hey, wait. Isn't today Saturday?
Well, it was when I left home this morning.
Damn it. Well, it'll have to wait. This comes first. Now, look, get hold of everyone you can lay your hands on. Tell Jim Knight, comb out the Excelsior. Tell everyone to be here by 6 o'clock. And when you've done that, slip round and tell Edie I can't keep that appointment.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Isn't that life all over? A good fight and me out of it. Don't I ever get any fun? Jim!
What the hell?
Bob's found Wallace's hideout. We're all meeting at Fielding's at 6.
And then what?
And then what? There'll be the skin off him. The day that I've longed for, and I shan't be there.
Why, have you got another appointment?
Not me, but Bob is due to meet Edie at Romano's, and I have to go and explain.
Oh, so he's due to meet Edie at Romano's.
You'd think a man would put proposing before fighting, wouldn't you?
Proposing?
Yeah. You suppose I could telephone from here?
No, sorry, my telephone's out of order.
Well, then I'll have to go, because if he doesn't show up, she'll think he doesn't love her. So Cupid Khan has to miss the fight.
Sam, I can see you've got a sensitive soul. Now listen, I'll go to Romano's and explain to Edie. You go to the fight.
Yes?
Yes.
We found Wallace's headquarters. Be at Fielding's at 6. And bring something heavy.
We go by the routes arranged and meet in the street opposite the main arch. Keep absolutely quiet in your cars till I get the signal. All right, fellas? Good luck.
very brave men to leave you all by yourself with so many lonely men around.
I think Miss Story's a very silly woman to sit here without eating.
Oh, he will come, I'm sure.
Whatever the lady ordered, make it two. Excuse me, madam, but did anyone ever tell you you're the double of Edie's story?
Jim, what are you doing here?
I've got a message from Bob. He's not coming.
When did he tell you?
About an hour ago.
Did he...
Just said he had another engagement. I gathered he thought it more important. Don't ask me any more, Edie.
I won't. It's rather what I expected.
Well, it's always the same in the theatre. Sooner or later, the understudy always gets his chance. I've had this waiting around for quite a while, Edie, for you.
Jim.
Don't put it into hot water in case it melts.
Jim, you're a darling, but you can't rush somebody into something like this.
But who's rushing you? Take your time. Wear it while you think. And even if the answer's no, well, just call it a present from Blackpool. Well, don't look at it like that. It's real. Try and cut a piece of glass with it.
Champagne and Angostura.
Mr. Prime Minister, you know there's a great opposition to this bill in the House, but it's a much-needed reform. It's right and just, and what's more, it's long overdue. I ask for protection for the songwriters of today. Their music will be the folk songs of tomorrow. If only the government would put the whips on, the bill would pass.
You really believe in this copyright bill, don't you?
I do indeed, Sir Henry, because I believe that the genius of a man's brain should be protected from pirates and parasites, because I believe in justice and the fairness of the English law.
I'll do what I can, Mr. O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, thank you.
Hello, Edie. I hope you didn't mind my just walking in like this.
Of course not, Bob.
Were you at Romano's last night?
I was.
And you're still talking to me?
Why shouldn't I be?
I don't know. I thought perhaps the mind not turning up.
Oh, Bob, I'm not a child. I understand. It's just one of those things. What did you do to your head?
Oh, this. I got it in the fight last night. Edie, I want to talk about us.
Bob, what fight?
What fight? Oh, we cleaned up Wallace and his mob at Hackney last night.
Oh, was that why you didn't turn up at Romano's?
Of course it was. Well, I thought you knew. Didn't Sam tell you?
Oh, Bob, and...
This is a fine way to behave when a fellow's trying to propose for the third time. Look, it isn't very good, but it'll get better with the budget. Where did you get that?
Jim gave it to me, Bob, but...
Jim?
Yes, it's a present from Blackpool. It doesn't mean anything. That's just the finger he put it on.
Now, when did this happen?
Last night. Well, from what he said, I thought you weren't coming because of someone else.
Did Jim say that?
Well, no, not exactly, but... Bob! Where are you going, Bob?
I shall be back. Do nothing I wouldn't do.
That's only the hors d'oeuvre. Get up for the rest of the menu.
But I don't think I can eat another thing.
Get up.
Would that be wise?
What lies did you tell Edie last night?
Oh, so it's Edie?
Yes, it's Edie. She was going to marry me till you stuck your nose in again.
Look, Bob, I didn't know that. Whether you believe it or not, I swear I didn't. I thought I was just beating you to the post. I never realized you'd passed it. You don't believe a word, do you?
Frankly, no.
Well, for once, I'm telling you the truth.
Bob! The Prime Minister is backing the music copyright bill in Parliament.
What?
Yes, look. Government supports music copyright bill. Prime Minister backs T.P. O'Connor.
Well, Bob, I don't know if she's worth it, but I'm giving her to you.
There must be a catch in this somewhere.
Not this time, Bob.
And if anyone knows any reason why these two should not be married, now is the time to shut up.
Listen, boys. We've won this fight because we were all united. Songwriters, publishers, and artists. That's how it should always be, so from now on, what do you say?
That goes for me, too. One for all and all for one.
That's the spirit. Come